Yo, 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 what is up? 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 I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's enjoying their week. I hope everyone's going to be enjoying their weekend. And we are at the week 5 of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Definitely a lot to go over here today. Answer your questions on obviously this coming game on Sunday. I think it's what 4:05, 4:25, whatever. It's 4:00 game. We had our first 1:00 game this past week, against Washington last week, and it was nice to get a game done early in the day, which I thought it was really good. But I think there's a lot to go over here within the NFC East going into this week since the Washington lost the other day. And I got to say, man, like playing on a short week sucks. I had Washington winning the game, but the most dangerous teams, sometimes the winless teams are the most dangerous teams, and the Bears just played really good, And, Washington struggled, couldn't get points on the board in the first half. That first half was really the tale of two halves. Washington did play better in the second half, but a couple key, a missed field goal kick and a fumble and, a couple things that were missed. And, literally the Bears were playing like 4 or 5 rookies in the secondary. Literally. And they were playing really well. Really well. So I was really glad they lost. I didn't expect it to happen, but Washington's still a good team. I don't think it really defines them by losing a game like that. So I definitely get it. You know what I mean? So wouldn't make a big deal out of it, but we'll see. We'll say hi to everybody in the chat. What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Got John Blackwell. What's going on, dude? Eric, what up, dude? Scott, Jaden, Mr. Nonchalant says, Eagles have to be better this week. No more soft coverage. Well, let me tell you something. Okay, they're playing soft coverage this week. Okay? If you're thinking right now they're not going to play soft coverage, they're going to do it every game. I don't think they're going to change it. I really don't. I think this is how they want to play football every week. And to be honest with you, like, I've watched highlights probably to every game this past week. I just wanted to see. Okay, I want to see, like, if any other teams are playing off coverage. Like, the Washington Commander fans were literally that last pass to Devontae Smith, which got us in field goal range to kick that 52-yarder for Jake Elliott, to win the game for us. They were complaining that they were playing off coverage on that last play to Devontae Smith, which got us in field goal range. And they were complaining about that one play. And I'm sitting here, like, saying to myself, well, we play off-ball coverage so damn much, and Slay said it, Big Play Slay said it. He has his podcast on YouTube. He said, like, literally a few days ago that they're doing this to not give up the big play. And it's almost every single time. If they move up like 5 yards, like, I have no issue with it. I got no problem with it. You know what I mean? Eric says, hey, Joey, it seems like every time you give me a wrench, it's taken back from me. You have I don't know. I don't recognize the name, though. I don't recognize this name. I know all the wrenches, and I don't think I've ever given you a wrench, to be honest, unless you had a different name or something, because if you change your name, it could be why. I don't know. I had to take wrenches. Well, I had to reset wrenches not too long ago because there's people blocking people for no reason. What's going on, Maxton? Jade said it was only a matter of time before Jalen Carter gets the nud and not shocked. It's now he's ready. Oh, yeah, he's totally ready. Totally ready. Steve Ellis said, hey, Joey, greetings from L.A. Hey, everyone, where's the tailgate party going to be? There's going to be a lot of Eagles fans. It's going to be a home game. It's going to be a home game in L.A., no doubt. No, nobody did anything wrong. No, I don't know this. I'm sorry, but I don't know your name at all. I know my mods, and I do not recognize the name, like, whatsoever, so. Jesus, Bradberry going back to the outside is big for the defense. Well, is he, though? I don't know if he is this week. Sidney Brown's out. We signed Bradley Roby, okay? Now, it really depends on if he's ready enough to play in the nickel this week. Learn the defensive terminology and stuff like that. Is he ready? I'm not really sure. I feel like we have to deal with Bradberry on the inside for one more game. I don't know what they're doing. It hasn't been said. They're not going to say anything about it, but what's going on, Jim? What up, what up? Eagles Nation, what up? Cryptog Knight says, Chicago's playing the same soft coverage as us, but they still got to how. Yeah, I get it. They did. They were playing a lot of off the ball. Well, they had what, 4 rookies starting in the secondary. They did, I don't know. You know? I don't know. I don't know why the Eagles. I think they're just lined up. I don't know how we have to compare and see, like, are the Eagles lined up further than any other team? At least Chicago. It's aggravating when you can't generate a pass rush, and the pass rush is almost there all the time. You know what I mean? It sucks. Let me just get to this chat really quick. Oops. Sorry. I meant to give you a wrench. Sorry. Shit. My bad, Eric. I deleted your super chat by mistake. I meant to give you a wrench. I apologize. I literally just deleted it by mistake. My phone is acting weird. I just gave you moderate. My bad, dude. I appreciate the super chat, Eric, but I literally deleted your super. I deleted the actual comment to your super chat by mistake. But I just gave you a wrench, though. You have a wrench. So I do appreciate it. Sorry about that. Sorry. Like, literally, my phone, I have to get a new phone. I literally clicked on your name, and it just, like, I clicked on delete. So that was a mistake, but you're good, though. I got you, though. My bad. I'm sorry. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, though. Sorry I deleted that. Falls5 says, Bradley Roby playing Sunday, or is it too early for people on Twitter making it seems like? I don't know if he is. If it's me from what they're acting like right now, I feel like he's not playing. I feel like he's not playing on the inside this week. I just feel like there's not enough time, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? We don't know what's happening at practice. I mean, they didn't stray away from the first practice Bradley Roby was in there because he was playing nickel pretty much the whole entire day, so we could get something. You know what I mean? Dank says they said Dickerson had his hand over the line when it was Kelsey's hand. Yeah, Kelsey said he took the blame for it. Kelsey said he took the blame for it. And, you know, I guess that's what happened. Somebody's got to take the blame for it, obviously. But speaking of the tush push, like 3 teams, last Sunday, 3 teams tried to tush push and nothing really worked. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. You know, it's not easy, but. Scott says, I had a wrench too. Relax. We're good. We're good. Steve says, was there for when Scott injured? Was there for when Scott injured in the South end zone? Last play was a touchdown to Jeffries. Oh, that's the last time we played in LA was the playoff game again. Oh, not the playoff game. That was to get first seed, wasn't it? Playing against the Rams, 2017. Bloodshot, what's going on, dude? Joeyshakes says the only person I've ever blocked was my wife from my. Oh my god. Thanks says I burned my damn corn dogs. Eric says seems like Roby is ready to play right now. Yeah, I think he is. I think, like, how much terminology do you need to know? You know what I mean? I had a statistic line for Roby last year with the Saints. He actually played pretty good. You know, you have a vet. I know he's 31, 32 years old. I understand, like, he's an older guy. You know, but I think it was a good move. I think it was a really good move because we can't be flirting with Bradberry moving to the inside. And Josh Jobe, I'm sorry. Josh Jobe is a nice backup for us if he needs to take over a game or two. I'm perfectly fine with that. But as a consistent starter the whole entire year, I'm just really not a fan of it at all. But we'll see. Remo says, remember how sad we all were walking down that stadium despite the win? I want the game with my bud. I watched the game with my bud, who is a Giants fan. He had to cheer me up. Oh, damn. Yeah, that was a tough day. That was a tough day. I didn't know what was going to happen after that. But good things happened. Dynasty T.G. Watt went on Twitter and defended the tush push. Teams are mad because Eagles are good at it. Plain and simple. Yeah. There's teams that are ready. You know, there's teams that can't do it. You know, Jay says we faced Rams in 20 and lost that. Dag says, no, we played in LA in 2018. Nick Foles beat them. Oh, we did play them the next year. Yeah, I don't think Aaron Donald was a problem that year. Like, we ran the trap play on Aaron Donald. He literally couldn't get to Nick Foles the whole entire game. Jim says, hey, Joey, what do you think about the Randy Gregory trade? I mean, they got him for nothing. I mean, San Francisco got him for nothing, really. They traded a couple picks on both sides. The 6th and the 7th went, you know, towards each other. But it was a good, you know, for somebody that, you know, he got paid what? Randy Gregory got paid what, $70 million for the Broncos? Damn. You know, and, you know, they get a pass rusher that could be in the rotation. So that was a good move. Good move. Steve Ray says, "Sup, Joey? This will be a great test for the." Oh yeah, 100%. I think the Eagles are much better than the Rams. The Rams are dealing with the left tackle issue right now. The Cooper Kupp situation with Puka. I know I say his name wrong, but I don't care. Cooper Kupp playing will be interesting, and if they have Job on the outside this week, if Bradley Roby's not playing at all this week, it's gonna be a tough matchup if Cooper Kupp is playing, because if Cooper Kupp is not playing, then Puka will be on the outside most likely. But if Kupp is playing, they'll probably move him to the inside. They're gonna be definitely get some mismatches on the inside most likely. So I don't like Bradberry playing on the inside. He hasn't played well, and I can't blame him. He's an outside corner. He's the number 2 here, so I get it. You know what I mean? Bloody Shot HVACR, they shit the super chat, says, "I'll be at the Eagles game. Eagles taking over stadium." Well, dude, they don't got any fans in LA. As soon as they move to LA, man, we got what? You got a few LA teams right now, and it's really tough to have a fan base when like a couple to a few teams are in the same place almost. A lot of Eagles fans in California, no doubt. A lot of Eagles fans in LA. So I think we're gonna be good. Now, appreciate the super chat, by the way. As for the Rams, okay, we talked about Cooper Kupp returning. Okay, they have a left tackle issue right now with Alverick Jackson and Joe Noteboom. Both guys are banged up really badly. So Josh Sweat, whoever they move to whoever's playing at defensive end, they want to switch guys around. Is a big weakness for the Rams this week, and Matt Stafford at quarterback. So we'll see what happens. I think, the offensive line, they have a good left guard. Their left guard is really good. Steve Avila, his name is. Avilia, I think his name is. Will be facing Jalen Carter most likely. And, we'll see how that goes. That's actually going to be a really good matchup. They have a solid left guard. So we'll see. I think Jalen Carter's going to play really well regardless. Akello Witherspoon is a cornerback that's starting for the Rams. That, if you guys remember Akello Witherspoon, he played with Pittsburgh last year where A.J. Brown dropped 2 touchdowns on him. So I think the Eagles can really throw on this team. I have no issue with it at all. I think they have a weakness at linebacker. I think they could throw on these cornerbacks. I think A.J. Brown is going to have another big game this week. So, we will see. Flyos Fly says, Carter going to get a lot of playing time Sunday with Cox out and Kupp starting. Rams already confirmed. Oh, it's already confirmed. Okay. I didn't know that at all. Yeah, but if he's starting this week, is Kupp 100% healthy? That's the question. Is he absolutely 100%? Is he playing at 85%? Is he playing at 80%, 75%? You know what I mean? So he might be playing, but we're going to find out if Kupp is actually 100% in this game. So if Bradberry is going to be on the inside, it's going to be a rough matchup. Between the soft zone coverage, and we really have to let this pass rush hit home and hold these guys. And I think that's a matchup we definitely have to look for. We have to look for and see what the Eagles do at nickel. I think that's the main thing right now. So Marlin's out and Cox is out, right? Both DTs are out this week. Cox will be back next week. He had an epidural shot in his spine, so not really worried about that too much. And I totally agree. They're probably just going to give somebody more snaps. Jalen Carter is barely really even playing that many snaps. He's playing, he's got under 100 snaps. He had, I think it was before Washington or after. I don't even know. He's played under, 80? What has he played? 89 snaps? And the top DT, what does Jalen Carter have? 20 pressures for the year? Fourth highest graded DT. It's just nuts right now. Mostly the top 10 defensive tackles this year have over 100 snaps. Easy, way over 100 snaps. So we'll see. Jim said Bradberry needs to go back. I agree. Thanks. Says Portland, Oregon has a lot of Eagles fans as well. See here. Stavian counts as I would really like to see our DBs not play 78 yards. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. Even if they're just 5 yards, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Just 5. But Slay said it on his podcast a few days ago that, they don't want to give up the big play. He said it on his podcast, It's just sucks, man. You gotta face KC this year. You gotta face the Bills. You gotta face Miami in a few weeks. You got Miami in a few weeks. What, 3 weeks? You got Miami? It's where we wear the Kelly Greens on Sunday night. That's going to be kind of nuts. Steve Elliott says it will be 60-40 Eagles fans, 80 in the last 8 minutes. Viz says Roby is perfect and is a feisty playmaker. Yeah, and I think he plays tough. He's a really good piece. He's a very good veteran piece for us. He's very twitchy too. He could still play. Like he can't go to a rebuilding team that, has like a really bad secondary. He's got to go to a team that has a really good defense around him. I think he'll flourish off of that. That's what I'm hoping. Thanks. I know one guy from Philly who owns a food truck. We're always talking birds. That's great, dude. That's great. Steve says have to bring the pressure because Stafford is not mobile. I don't know how Stafford has played this year. I mean, really, they're 2-2, right? So I think they blew out Seattle. And really, to be honest, the Rams the last few games have really, they haven't gotten killed by anybody this year. They've only lost by 7 points or less in the last 3 games. So they really haven't been torched. I think this is, like we said, like about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was playing pretty good this year, and the Eagles scored some points. I mean, they're averaging over 30 points a game, 500 yards of offense, 400 to 500 yards of offense. I mean, the statistics are there. The Eagles are like 5th in points this year, and the defense is ranked against the pass like 26th, 27th. The Eagles are ranked 26th or 27th against the pass defensively this year. I mean, that's crazy. That's nuts. The Eagles offensively aren't playing the best of their ability right now. I think we all know that. I even went on the Rams website to see what they're saying about the Eagles. They're saying that we're not playing up to par. We're not looking 100%. We're not looking good. That's what every team is going to say. That's what every team is going to say. Yanks, I want to see Milan and Jordan Davis in the backfield if we get a goal line from the 1. Yeah, maybe they'll do that one day. Eric says, thought AJ dropped 2 touchdowns. He caught the touchdowns earlier in the game. What are you talking about? The Tampa game? The 2 dropped in that game? CJ Smith says Roby is a big pickup in my opinion. No, I think he was great. He had a lot of interest from a lot of teams. He had a lot of interest. And I mean, he just worked out for the 49ers last week, and I think because they wanted him more as a backup corner for that secondary, I think that's why he didn't end up signing there. The Eagles needed a pure starter at nickel, and I think he jumped to going to Philly. And obviously, he said he wanted to win a Super Bowl, so he thinks this is a team that can make it to the end, so we'll see. Joe Spax has heard something was up with Stafford injury-wise. Yeah, that's interesting. I got to look that up. Andre Rose says, what about Smitty? Do you think he will have a big day? I think Smitty could have like maybe 50, 60 something yards in this game. I think this is another AJ Brown day, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I think you're going to need both these receivers, but I think both are going to make plays. I think you could throw on this defense regardless. You got to take care of Aaron Donald, obviously, is the most important one, but I think Kelsey will slide to protection, pick up blitzes, and we'll have to do some double duty and keep an eye out on Aaron Donald. Most likely, Aaron Donald will probably line up in front of Sua Opeta since Cam Jurgens is not playing in this game. So, I think Sua Opeta is a very good, serviceable backup guard for us. Could play both guard spots really well. Trust me, if Driscoll was playing at right guard, then I would have a huge issue. But Sua Opeta is a very good player. You might not think it, but he does really well, knows the system well. So we'll see. Dabney Offerman says, there's no way Kupp could be 100% with that injury. We just need to contain Puka Nacua. Yeah, no, I get it. I don't think, if Kupp is playing, I don't think he is going to be at 100%. I honestly don't. I don't think so. For me, I just don't think so. Q says, Kupp and Puka will eat this secondary alive. Our front 4 have to get home. Stafford always finds a way to beat us. So we'll see, dude. We'll see. Next week, this weekend, week 5 is a different week, man. This is the best team. I mean, to be honest with you, they didn't lose San Francisco-wise. Hold on. Let me check the schedule here. All right. So the Rams beat Seattle 30-13. They only lost by a touchdown against the 49ers in week 2. They beat the Bengals. They lost against the Bengals by 3, 16-19. They won against the Colts 29-23. They've won. They haven't been playing up to par either. They really haven't been playing well either, but they still have, they're 2-2. They've won a couple games. You know what I mean? They haven't, they've lost by 7 or less points the last 3 weeks. They haven't really got killed by any team this year. They haven't been scored on too much this year by anybody. You know what I mean? We'll see. Thanks to Stafford could move, but not an athlete, especially at his age. Yeah, he's got the hip pointer. He's got the hip pointer. I totally forgot about that. So we'll see how that goes. They got to give him extra protection. They have a huge weakness at left tackle this week. House guys, do you think they will play Mr. Nolan Smith? I hope so. I mean, I don't know what his snap count was last week against Washington, but it was not high. I know that for a fact. Reb says, Cox is out. I want Ojomo to get some reps, bros. Wingspan is nuts. Yeah, I mean, I think Ojomo is disruptive, and, he's going to get his first shot this week. So we'll see how it goes, man. I was going to say, I wonder if they call up Ojomo. Most likely. Thanks. They give up too much underneath, which is what most of these offenses we play throw short. Yeah. I don't know. They're going to have to, for me, they got to switch it up. They got to switch it up. I don't know. I don't think they're going away from this. If they're winning like this, do you think they're going to change it up this week? I don't. It's going to piss us off when everything underneath is wide open. And that's what sometimes teams have to play us. Well, just think about it. Why do you think the Eagles have gotten so many big plays this year so far? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They've made some big plays this year because they've played man-on-man. And that's what the Eagles don't want to get themselves into, I get it, but playing 8 yards, and especially like if it's like 3rd and short and you're playing still 7 to 8 yards, you're giving these tight ends and wide receivers 5 to 8. You're giving these receivers and tight ends 5 to 7 yards being open. Pissed me off. It really pissed me off in the Washington game, no doubt. Bob Murphy says Rams are second in passing offense. Eagles 27th in pass defense. Damn. I think they're going to smoke our bullshit zone coverage scheme. Damn. Sucks, dude. I didn't know the statistics for the Rams. But at the end of the day, I think they will get theirs. Just like we played the Vikings and Kirk Cousins statistically looked really good, but they still lost. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I think offensively the Rams could have a good passing game, but I think in the end the Eagles do win, because of the the turnovers, and it makes everything look good. I think Eagles are leading the whole league and not with 9 turnovers for the year, which is kind of nuts, which is good. So at least everything's so mixed. With our statistics are so mixed right now because we're playing this too much zone, and I don't know. This is another defensive coordinator that's not using to his strengths. Why put money into this defensive line? Why draft 2 defensive tackles in the first round and put money into these guys if this is what you're going to do? Dank says, it seems the Rams always blow out Seattle. Then the second game is always tight. Eric said, I just hope that the Eagles don't be playing the soft zone. Having our cornerbacks 10 yards back off the receivers, that defensive mindset really gets to me. Yeah, it pisses us off, man. It makes us look bad. We made Washington look a lot better than they were. I mean, Sam Howell had 11 incompletions. That's it. He had 11 incompletions. That's just insane. The big test, not even a test. I want to see what Sean Desai does against Zach Wilson against the Jets. If Zach Wilson has over 330 yards passing with 3 touchdowns, it's going to be a problem, man. You're not winning a playoff game like this. You're not. You could win the regular season, get into the playoffs, all fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, you're not. You're not going to win a playoff game like this. You're not. It's not going to happen. If you're not allowing your pass rush to get in there, generate that, having our safeties back is going to help. Brian says this is the real Desai test, no Fletch. Yeah. Fletcher Cox, I think, leads the league. I think Fletcher Cox leads the league in quarterback hits this year, which is kind of, dude, Fletcher Cox is playing like he's 27 years old right now. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding, dude. Brian Donahue said it's still a trench game. We are better. I think we are better than the Rams, no doubt. Bloodshot says, Joey, I think they will shoot up Cooper and have him play, but as a diversion to keep the secondary on their feet. I agree with that. Yeah, because him on the field is going to get a lot of attention. We're going to find out like how hurt he does look and if he can even last the whole entire game. Self-Made Entertainment says, Barnett hasn't done anything since recovering the fumble in the Super Bowl. Why not let Nolan Smith play to see what he could do? What do we have to lose? I wanted to move Nolan Smith in front of Derek Barnett on the depth chart. And this is a first-round pick, man. Like, if Nolan Smith doesn't get more reps this year, then I don't know what Sean Desai is doing. I really don't. It's been, 10 games? 10 games for Derek Barnett. He's got one quarterback hit in 10 games. I think he only has one tackle for the season this year. I mean, Hassan Reddick got his first sack, which is good. First game without the cast on, so that's great. Hopefully we see more. I think Reddick got held the shit out of in that Washington game. I thought he got held like crazy in that game, but that's just me. What's going on, Sandeep? AT says, yo, Joey, I don't know, man. I have a feeling Stafford is going to release the ball fast and carve us up with Kupp, Nakua on short, quick routes and slow down the rush. Desai is not going to adjust with that soft zone. I don't think he is either, dude. I don't think he is either. I mean, Stafford had his press conference the other day, and Stafford had his press conference the other day and said that that the Eagles he knows they got a good front. Okay, they know he has a good front. They don't like to give up the big play. And, every team is going to throw short on us. That's just what's going to happen. Jay says, was the difference between Gannon's soft zone and Desai's soft zone? It seems like Gannon's soft zone and pass rush was better. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the pass rush better as we're getting to the quarterback better last year. I mean, his defense looks his line is getting to the quarterback this year pretty well. They got like almost double-digit sacks right now for the whole defensive line. I think they almost have like 10 sacks for that defense right now. I don't know how many. It's probably over 10. I'm not sure, but I think the Cardinals have over 10 sacks for this year already. But playing off ball, and I think not blitzing either. And look, I think what Desai is doing, what I really do like, is running your stunts, running your blitzes, and I think that's helping. Nicholas Morrow had his best game of his career last game against Washington. 3 sacks, 11 tackles, a forced fumble. I mean, that's Pro Bowl numbers. That's Pro Bowl numbers. You know what I mean? It's great. 505 Stafford had or still has a little hip contusion. So he said Desai likes to blitz the linebackers. Yeah, I mean, that's good. Like, that's what I could say that's good about it. He likes to run his stunts. He likes to blitz the linebackers. Perfectly fine with that. Dave's on 2. So the Brian thing is dumb because he was bitchy earlier in the season and the coaches want to keep him happy. That's why Nolan Smith isn't playing much. I really hope that's not the case. Just to keep him happy. I really, really hope that's not the case. Philly said, what up, y'all? Great Philly sport weekend. What's going on, Philly D? Dave Dupree says, motions and bunch tight sets killed his defense. Yeah, a little bit. Remo said, I thought it was special. I thought it was suspect how McVay said the team's report was off on Kupp and he won't be limited. And a full go makes me think he will be a decoy. Guys said, imagine if Ojomo develops into a really good pass rusher while also stuffing the run well. Now that is cool. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be his first start. So can I expect a lot from him? No, but like maybe he'll surprise me. You know what I mean? Despite should have known playing off ball is going to give an easier time for Stafford. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, you have a hot route. You have someone doing a slant. There's so much you could do, Joey says, Eric says, I think that the Eagles are shopping Quez and Barnett in hopes that they get a safety and possible another receiver. Yeah, we heard the rumors of Claypool from Chicago. So they haven't played him the last couple games. And there's big rumors that there are a few teams out there that are looking at him as a depth piece right now. He's had some injuries. He's kind of fell off a little bit, but maybe needs a new team, just needs a new background. It seems like the Eagles have interest in him. We'll see what happens. Quez is healthy this week, so we're going to find out what this what they're going to use here with their wide receiver 3 position. Do they play Quez more? I think Quez has got to earn his job back. I'm sorry, but I think he does. It's unfortunate. Injuries are not his fault. Injuries just happen. It's uncontrollable. You know, I get all that. Kelly Green says, other fans wish bad on us every. Yeah, well, of course. That's how it is. Daniel Barry, what's going on, man? Dolphin Entertainment says, Joey, off topic. Sorry, what's your other YouTube channel? It's the Late Night Massacre. The Late Night Massacre. Kelly Nation says, I believe we got this. Cryptog Night says, I don't think the deep ball should be the concern because the QB has to sit in the pocket longer, given the defense time to get. Well, no, when you're moved back like that, then yeah, you're not going to expect the deep ball at all. You know, so I get that. I'm not really worried about a deep ball because they're playing so far back, so there's really no excuses to give up a big play in these games. The Eagles, when you play soft zone like that, you have to make sure if they get these balls underneath, if they catch the balls on the underneath routes, they have to make sure they get these tackles. Because you start missing tackles, it's almost a waste of time to do soft zone coverage. You know what I mean? That's the issue I'm kind of having. Dank says, there's a report that said Sirianni turned down the pass on the Gainwell fumble. Why? I mean, 3rd and 11 and you're running with Gainwell? Why? If you're going to do a run play regardless, okay? If you're going to do a run play, put your best back in there. That's what I can't stand. I feel like they still don't know like how to use these running backs still. Because Gainwell on 3rd and 11, like 3rd and 11, and you're gonna come on now. I don't know why Gainwell is the main factor at important times in these games. Still doesn't make sense to me. Bergen says we have to play tight. I get it. Claypool's in Miami. Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been on, like, I've been on Twitter, but I haven't seen new. I must have maybe missed it. So my bad. I had no idea. I saw the report from like a few days ago, and that was it. I didn't know he got traded to Miami at all. Yanks said, hope Carr and Davis get deep penetration up the middle since we won't be able to get Cox on Stafford's face this week. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Carter and Davis are going to be playing next to each other this week. They have to keep both of these lines like balanced with talent. So, I don't know who's going to start next to Davis. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be Kadavius Street, or it's going to be. I mean, Morrow will be more of the back rotation. I think Marlon's out. You know, Milton Williams and Street will probably be the two guys. But you know what they could do with? You know what they could do with Kadavius? Kadavius Street could play inside and outside. Milton Williams could play inside and outside. Those are really our only two defensive tackles that could play inside. I mean, Jalen Carr could probably play on the outside too if they really want to get more of a pass rush and move some guys around a little bit. That's what they could do. Dake said there's a chain of command and Sirianni overrides Johnson play calls sometimes. I guess that's what I'm hoping as a head coach. He doesn't just sit there the whole game. I'm hoping he overrides something if he doesn't like something. Brian Donahue says, soft zone is for the birds. Pun intended. Why literally? It sucks. Because I think we should play bump and run against the Rams receivers. Philly D said, I do know when Swift touches the ball, it works. It does, because he's faster. He's more twitchy. He's more explosive. On contact, he can get some extra yards. And Gainwell can too, but I just think he's just faster. He's just more explosive. He's a better back. We all know this. You know what I mean? We all know it. Yang says Milton Williams gets the start. I'm guessing, yeah. I would think so. But he said blitzing and have your corner 8 back makes no sense. Putting money into your defensive line makes no sense. So what's the point of moving to soft zone if you're putting money into your defensive line and drafting Jordan Davis and drafting Jalen Carter? Like, what's the point then? If they're never going to get to the quarterback or in time, like what are they going to do? AD says, yo, Joey, I was watching Canadian football, Argos versus Elks, and they ran the brotherly shove. Crazy how everyone is copying us. I get it, dude. I don't know if they're going to cancel that next year. Once they have once we get into the off season for next season, for the 24 season, and, they have those owner meetings with the GMs. So we'll see. Yanks and Swift has been very oh yeah, I mean he's got what, 360 something yards and what, 3 games played right now, right? It's pretty good, man. I don't know if he's still second in rushing, but he's still playing well. Yeah, he didn't have a big run game this past game against Washington, but still 50 something yards on what? I forgot how many carries he had. Big Word said, we let trash QBs throw all over us. Stafford will throw for 350. Yeah, we'll see. And then we got Zach Wilson. If they make Zach Wilson look that pretty damn good, that's going to be a problem. Eric said, but they say Swift doesn't block well. There's been some instances where he can't hold up blocks at certain moments. I think he's fine. At least he gets that initial hit. I'm fine with it. I think it's just the amount of time he blocks for is the problem. Bloody Shots, the Eagles need to draft a big-size running back to complement Swift if we extend him. I think he is the bigger back, to be honest with you. I think Swift, I don't think you have Rashad Penny, obviously. I think Swift plays big. Swift is a bigger type back. Rashad Penny is definitely the bigger back of the bunch, and they still haven't used him yet. I don't know what they're doing with Rashad Penny. I don't know what the plan is. I don't get why you have to put so much on Gainwell. And Boston Scott was healthy last week, and they didn't even play him as a running back once in that game. Not once. You know what I mean? What's going on, Joe? Gary Robowski says Gainwell is definitely a better pass protector. Oh, yeah, 100%. But I'm just talking about an overall talent. It's definitely Swift. AD says Swift equals load management for the cold winter months. Eagles Rose says, who do you think is returning kicks this game? It's probably Boston Scott and Devin Allen, or Boston Scott and Quez Watkins, I guess. Quez was the starting kick returner next to Boston Scott before he got injured. So I'm guessing it's both of them. Louis, let's see. Louis says, how can you ban a play? You need to put specific rules of what a QB sneak is, which will be ban other plays. Am I missing something? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of coaches that like to use it now. I think the Eagles obviously have been the best at using it, but at the same time, like, we saw 3 teams try to use it. We saw Daniel Jones use it on Thursday night and couldn't even get it done. You know what I mean? There's like I said, do you think Slay looked slow the last couple of games? I think it's the scheme, dude. I don't really think it's him. I think it's the damn scheme. You're forcefully putting Slay 8 to 10 yards off the ball and having to react on a cross route. Like, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, the whole secondary looks like shit when you play like that. Bradberry looks horrible. Slay looks horrible. They all look horrible. But I know why they look horrible. You know what I mean? Rumor says, might not be a bad idea for Howie to lock up Swift for a couple more years before he gets too expensive. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, dude. I'm looking at 2 players right now, and this really depends on if they play well the rest of the year. DeAndre Swift, 24 years old. They cannot let this man go. This guy is so close to a running back 1, it's not even funny. The guy can handle over 20 carries a game if he really wanted. He can. I don't want to do that, obviously, but he can. He didn't play the first game, so he was able to really, beef up a little bit the last few weeks. Nicholas Morrow is going to be another one I'm going to be looking at. Like, Nakobe Dean comes back. It's really hard for me to say that Nakobe Dean should start over Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow right now. That's just the truth. I think they move all these corners back. They rely on these linebackers to cover at times, to pick up any crossing routes, which I know they do that a lot with these linebackers if they're not blitzing anybody. But I think if Nicholas Morrow plays at a high level the rest of the season, I think Nicholas Morrow has to be locked up. I think you have to lock up Nicholas Morrow, and I think you have to lock up DeAndre Swift. No joke. I don't know if we should blame the DC, but dude, if you're playing soft zone the whole entire game, how much you're putting too much stress on these players. You're depending on your 4-man pass rush every single series. Guys are gassed. Guys are tired. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when they play back like that, sometimes they still give up big plays, even if it's a deep ball. Not crazy, like not like a 70-yard pass, but they're still giving up big chunk yards. And if you missed wide open one-on-one tackles, the soft zone means nothing. If you're a soft zone team that could tackle and wrap up, then that's fine. But you're missing tackles. I think the Eagles have missed some tackles, some one-on-one tackles. They've been all right, but you're playing off ball so much. That's what you're going to get out of it. We got 202 people in the chat. Guys, haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the video if you guys haven't. Definitely check out the pinned comment for support and join the camp. So appreciate it so much. Gabriel Bowski, I'm saying I think it is the head coach's idea to play that way. 100%. Big Rich says Penny is going to demand a trade if he doesn't get any touches. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's got to be a plan. Like, is Penny talking to the coaches saying, hey, like, why am I not getting, like, one snap or, like, something? There's got to be a plan going into it. If he asked for a trade, that means that the Eagles never really told him what they were doing with him. If he's not asking for a trade the whole entire year, then obviously there is a plan in effect right now for Rashad Penny, and he fully understands that. He says, not to mention, I'm sure Slay and Bradberry like playing man. Top cornerbacks love that action. Yeah, I know. It's like we're paying Slay and we're paying Bradberry. We're paying Bradberry on a brand new contract to cover, to literally do what he's supposed to do, and they're not doing that. From the start of the football getting snapped, that's the problem. That's a huge problem. I don't know. Like it all takes 1 second. Donnie says, I think Penny is going to be used in the cold winter months to plow through defenses. Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the plan. I mean, let me know if I'm not making any sense. I mean, Bobby says, why pay the huge money to Slay and Bradberry to pay them in a soft zone? You're paying them like shutdown corners. Yeah, I get it. I don't get, like, if you're just gonna play soft zone, I'd rather have 2 undrafted rookies start at this point. Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather have, if you're gonna play soft zone, I'd rather have Eli Ricks and Josh Jobe be on the outside if this is what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? As much as I would hate it, but what's this? It's wasting money. I think you're wasting what you're supposed to be doing with these guys. What's up, Pooja? What's going on, man? Krypton Knight 19 says, thoughts on Braden Mann's performance? I think he's fine. I think it's fine. I think when we get to like midfield when he punts, I think he gets inside the 10. I think he's been fine for one game so far. He's been fine. We'll see the coming weeks, but I think he was fine. Britton Covey is limited, or he was a full go on Friday. He was a full go today. He might actually play. I'm actually shocked because I think the rules for the concussion protocol have been very strict this year. If you guys know, like, every time a player gets concussion now, they're usually out the next game. Like, they will automatically take you out for the next game, which really sucks. And I guarantee you there's a lot of players that are perfectly fine before the next week's game coming off a concussion from the original game. And I think, I mean, it looks like Covey's playing this week. It looks like he is playing. Yeah, I mean, I would think so. Housecat says, I don't know what the player-coach relationship works. Can't the players talk to the coordinators and tell the Ds? It's like fans can identify issues, can they not? I think they have to start losing games for that to happen. I don't know if they've went up to the coach and say, hey, why are we playing so soft right now? Like, I'm getting paid to, like, do what I'm being paid to do right now. And they're not doing it. I'm going to pay you so much money to cover the best receiver, but I want to play you 8 to 10 yards off the ball. It's the Eagles haven't lost a game yet. If this defense is giving up that many yards and they lose a game because of it, it's going to be our downfall, bro. Got to find what works. Joe says, the side got to find what works and what doesn't. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's working. We're 4-0 right now. That's how they look at it. I feel like that's how they look at it. They look at it as if well, we're playing the same defense. We're doing pretty good. You know, if it's working, it's working. We're not going to change too much up, you know. Bobby says it would be like paying AJ what we are and then not throwing him the yeah, I 100% agree. It sounds so fucking stupid and so idiotic. Why do you pay these guys? It's like it's like that. It's like, oh, you pay a quarterback a lot of money to not throw the football. Like it's like the same thing. William Gabler says Cox spoke up when JG was here. Yeah, in 21 probably. Last year I don't know. In 21, a lot of the guys, some of the players had to go up to Gannon in 21 and be like, "Hey, you should use me like this in this defense." Like they had the JG needed feedback in 21. Moose says, I was looking over Brian Johnson's time at Florida, and he was great at scheming guys open. I hope he isn't being restricted because the Eagles want to stick to a similar offense as last year. No, I don't think so. I mean, Brian Johnson was around, Steichen the whole year last year. I think it's just getting Hurts into a rhythm. I think Hurts is indecisive at times. I think the coaches are putting a lot into his head right now when it comes to protecting the football, when it comes to not taking too many hits. I think there are times where Hurts looks slow and fast. I think when he looks slow, I think he debates whether he wants to throw the ball or he debates whether he's going to run and try not to get hit at a certain moment. How many guys are in front of him? I think there's a million things that Hurts is thinking when he has the ball in his hands at times, and he contemplates. Because there are times where when he runs real fast. And then when he contemplate, jog, run, kind of in that little moment that he has at times, like I feel like he's like trying to figure it out, what he wants to do, so we'll see. A said at some point it's going to catch up to us. You'll see, and it'll be against one of those teams that's tough stretch. Dude, that's what happened last year. Everybody told me to fucking relax last year about this defense. Everybody's, we're 6-0, we're 7-0, and everybody's bitching, and everybody. That's what people were saying in the comment section last year. That's what everybody was saying last year. And look what happened. Nobody said a damn word. You know what's crazy about YouTube, guys, is when you're right, nobody will ever tell you that you're right. Ever. When you're wrong, people will point it out in 2 seconds. If I say Alamani Zacchaeus' name wrong, like I just said it wrong just now, I'll have 20, 30 comments saying I said Zacchaeus' name wrong. You know what I mean? Moose says, rather than letting him open up the playbook, but honestly, I do feel they haven't showed their full playbook on offense. No, I don't think so either. And if they have, then we're in trouble. Because I don't think we've seen. I don't think I've noticed that they have dialed up some different plays in crucial third down moments. So we'll see. But I don't know why people in here Philly got us losing to the Rams. I think we're the better team, man. Dude, a lot of Philly fans say this every week. Oh, trap game. This is we ain't gonna do much. I think a lot of people had us losing against Tampa Bay. A lot of people had us losing against Tampa Bay. No joke. I mean, like, I could see playing off coverage on a Tyreek Hill or something like that, or it's a 3rd and 20, a 3rd and 17, or it's the last play with a second left and they have like 50 yards to go. Like you play off ball for those reasons, and you could play off ball and for certain reasons. Okay. But literally every single series, it's the same thing over and over. That's where I kind of get pissed off a little bit. Musa, that's part of the coach's job to make it easy for him. Put him in positions where he's comfortable and knows where he wants to go with the ball. I get it. Miami needs a big receiver. Joe says, we all know Gann's scheme was going to catch up. It's caught up, but we're not losing games, but we're not going to last this long. It ain't going to happen. Like, you're going to be facing better talent down the line, receiver and tight end wise. You think you're going to do that? You think you're going to play against and KC hasn't been playing well either. KC's not really playing up to par ever since Bieniemy left, to be honest. You think you're gonna line up off the ball on Travis Kelce every single time? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to do this every game? Salvatore Patty says, this is my call. What do you think? Weapon 0, 125 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns? Damn. Be a good day. I would love it. Every time I see DeAndre Swift make plays, I'm always happy. Joe says we stint losing to the Rams. Or we're not losing to the Rams. TK Yang said, I wonder if the way we play defense is all based on analytics. Oh, God. Like the algorithms are saying is better to play bend or not break. Oh, God. I hope not. I felt like in 21 they did that so much. They like looked at a sheet and said, well, the probability of us getting this play against this, like oh man, I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Darrell Smith says they claim they're going to stop our brotherly love push. We'll see. It's not easy to stop. I thought Tampa Bay did a good job in trying to stop it. Remember, they got us once. I think on 3rd and short they got us once, and then we did it again. We're very consistent with it. Good night. So I just hope it doesn't take an L to get things fixed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though. Like if they're winning this way, playing like this defensively, like why would they stop? Why change the whole defense around if they're playing very good right now with the soft coverage? You know what I mean? I don't know. Chris says Jim Schwartz started this with the sticks defense. What was it? What was it against the Titans? What was it? It was against the Titans, right? 4th and 13. What was it? What was that play against the Titans? They got that 4th down play. That was a Marcus Mariota game too. He killed us that game. That pissed me off. That really pissed me off. That was an 18, I believe. I think. DPR, what's going on, dudes? Hey, Joey, what's up, bud? Our crew finally got selected for some downtime. Could be Desai doesn't want to show all of his skeebs too early on. The team will be all right. Gotta love. Yeah, I can say for offensively and this defense that they're definitely hiding a lot of stuff. They kind of have to at certain moments just because you don't want to give up too much of your playbook, and I get it. I totally get it. Bears did it, and it worked for them. Yeah, it did. William says, that being said, I believe we win. What's going on, Suo? The trucker that made DC Trucker says, what makes you think that we are going to go 7? Well, hopefully that's not towards me because this team is not going undefeated. It's not happening. So, it's not happening. It's definitely not happening. Black Eagle said, I thought Desai said he wanted his defense to be felt. Like, what's going on? Yeah. He wanted this defense to be physical. Wanted this defense to get after quarterbacks, be creative ways to get after quarterbacks. The defense isn't playing bad. They're just it's all fixable. What we're doing offensively is fixable. What we're doing defensively, they only have to do like one thing and it's fixed. Like everything is fixed. It's fixable right now. There's nothing wrong with any of it. You know what I mean? Chris says 4th and 14 overtime, I think. Yeah. Fernie says, hey, Joe, do you think the Eagles will pay Swift next year? They better. They better pay him. So he says, Swift stays healthy, will be offered a contract. I hope so, man. So I think this game is going to be a statement game for the offense and defense. If Swift gets signed, I'm getting his jersey. I would have got his jersey if he had a multi-year deal. I would have got his jersey, no doubt. That 0 is going to look fresh. It's going to look fresh. I'm excited to see Carter start. Yeah, we'll see what they do here. Like, are they going to move Carter up next to Jordan Davis? Like, that's the thing. Like, I think they need to keep both lines balanced. They might not put Carter next to Davis. I don't know. They might have to because are they going to get much of a push with Milton Williams or Kadavius Street next to, next to Jordan Davis? That's going to be like I guess, somewhat try to figure it out. People who say 17-0, no, we're not going 17-0. No, we're going 20-0. Yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to get into the playoffs and win a lot of games, get to the Super Bowl. I mean, I would love that, but this defense is making me really nervous right now, a little bit at times. DC Trucker says, knowing that towards other fans. Oh, okay. I figured. I'm like, Give me a receipt that I've said that the Eagles are going to be undefeated this year, because I'm telling you, I have not done that. Guy says Swift 3-year deal would be nice. Yeah, why not? Bobby says our front seven plays aggressive, our secondary plays passive. Yeah. I get it. Salvatore Pat says, hate to say this, but go Cowgirls so Eagles can be the only team 5-0. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting week this week. So Washington lost, right? The Giants have to play Miami. They got back-to-back games against Miami and the Bills. Unless the Giants pull a miracle, and the Cowboys have to play the 49ers in San Francisco. This could be the second time this year where the Eagles are the only team to win the week. I'm going to be very interested to see how the Cowboys-49ers game is going to go. Because I don't think, look, we know what the Cowboys are and how they've been playing, and winning. When they win, it's in style, and, scoring 30-plus, 40-plus points on teams means that you're a Super Bowl contender, which it does not. Because this is a week-to-week league. Look at Miami. They score 70 points on the Broncos. They get killed by the Bills the next week. Like, it's a week-to-week league for a reason. Okay? Nothing's going to look the same every single week, It's depending on how you win games, how you fight through games. The Eagles have been fighting every single week. We are going through so much adversity, and it's not even that much adversity, but we're going through adversity right now. They're winning in every way possible. They've kept leads. They've won from behind. They've won in overtime. They've played in crappy weather. They've done almost everything. They've done almost everything we've asked. Except they just have to cut down on some penalties here and there. They need to adjust a little bit on both sides. Play calling a little bit on the offense, and this defense just needs to play a little physical, man. That's all I'm asking. Not asking for much here. Joe said Milton Williams could have a big game. Yeah, I think Milton looks more explosive this year, a lot quicker, a lot more explosive this coming off the line. So I'm excited for him. It's been better every single year. Diane says Swift is the modern day Shady McCoy. Yeah. Haven't had a running back this successful. Look at the Panthers right now with Miles Sanders. I mean, did they win a game? No, they haven't. They haven't won a game yet. Miles Sanders is looking like he was a total product. I always thought Miles Sanders was solid, but as great as he thinks he is, he's not. He had 1,000 yards last year. I'm sorry, but that offensive line helped out tremendously. DeAndre Swift is just you get Swift to the second level. I love how they're trying to get Swift more into the passing game, which is great. He's a big mismatch on linebackers. That in Washington, we had a penalty. Swift had a face mask call in that game. Swift would have had a touchdown on that vertical, on that, that wheel route, whatever he ran, that linebacker. No linebackers catching DeAndre Swift. That would have been a touchdown if that was thrown in stride. It was overthrown, unfortunately, which really sucks. So I'm really glad they're actually trying to get this thing going. 80 said, man, you can imagine Miles Sanders right now. We completely forgot about him with Swift, and he's on a winless team. He's punching air when he's laying down. I mean, he was affordable. I mean, he was $5.5, $6 million a year. He was affordable. The Eagles could have re-signed him easily, but I appreciate everything he's done. But we weren't paying him. They don't pay running backs. They don't pay linebackers. We know what they do. Big Rich says Billy Davis, Jim Shorts, Gannon, and now decide why are we always stuck with below average DC? Look, well, it's like I said, we're only going it's only week 5 right now. It's week 5. We're not even middle of the season yet. Got to wait a few more weeks, see how it goes. Because a loss is coming. A loss is coming, and I'm not wishing that they lose or anything like that to get this thing better. And it's going to take a loss for this defense, for Desai to really change his ways. I don't want this team to lose, but they're going to lose one game because of it, because of this defense, no doubt. Playing this off zone, they are going to lose heavily. And I got to tell you, the next 2 weeks, I already said this in the stream earlier, the next couple weeks, you got to face the Rams on Sunday. You got to face the Jets and Zach Wilson. Okay, they played pretty good against KC, but KC hasn't been playing great either this year. But Zach Wilson, though, I'm telling you, like, if he has over 330 yards and 3 touchdowns, it's going to be a problem. It's gonna let you know. The Eagles are 26th, 27th against the pass defensively. Like, that's how crazy it is right now. It's just insane, dude. Joe says they'll probably start Carter next to Davis and rotate everyone else like normal. Eagles fan says Rams had Aaron Donald at defensive end in the 4-3 package against the Colts. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, going up against Malata has struggled. He'll probably line up on Lane Johnson's side, most likely. Val says, yup, go Rams. I want the 49ers to destroy the Cowboys this week. And then we'll have our turn. Froferg, Miles Sanders misses Eagles O-line. Totally agree. Thanks. Is this the kind of what we expected, though? Because we said the defense is going to take time, so the offense is going to have to keep up. Yeah, that's what I don't like about these soft coverage zone defenses that we've been running the past couple of years, because I feel like you're putting – I feel like you just settle for a field goal. Like, oh, if like last year, if the Eagles can settle for a field goal defensively, Gannon's like, you know what? They kick 3 points. It's a win for us. I'm like, no, it's not a win, dude. You're allowing them to score 3 points is unacceptable. I don't care if it's not a touchdown or not. You're still allowing them to get downfield at a slow pace, waste time off the clock, because that's what they're doing right now. That's what the Bears did last night against Washington a couple nights ago. That's what the Bears did the other night. The Bears scored 27 points in the first half, and then they just played far back the rest of the second half, wasting time, tackling, keeping everything underneath. That's what they did the whole entire game. It works at times, but I hate giving up that yardage. It makes your statistics look like shit. The Eagles' defensive statistics are bad when it comes to against the pass. It's not good. You know what I mean? Joe said if he plays off zone against Stafford, yeah, no, I get it. I mean, Stafford's not stupid. He knows what's going to happen. Our defense ranked 3rd in the league for allowed a touchdown. That's not good. Yeah, because of the amount of yards we're giving up. Zach Wilson had a career game against us in 21. I don't even remember. Oh, was that the we had a pick 6, didn't we, in that game? I forgot. I totally forgot about that game against the Jets. Yeah, we didn't play up to par that game, no doubt. The Jets have never beaten the Eagles in franchise history, ever. And we have to keep that thing going this year. First, hey, Joey, when are we going to see Eagles' first loss? I don't know. I think if the Eagles are going to get their first loss, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be against Miami. When we wear our Kelly greens for the first time, and I don't know. We're home, thank God, but the passing attack is really good. It's very, very good. And this defense, I don't know what you're going to do against that. If you're not going to be physical, if you're not going to go toe-to-toe and challenge an offense like that, I don't think they win against Miami. I don't think so. So DC actually love Cox. I want to see Carter more snaps to see how he does. Yeah, we'll see. Joseph's against the zone. Salvatore Pag said we need Buddy Ryan type of defense. I get it. Bum says, I knew hiring within would bite us in the ass as we could have 2 experienced coaches. Well, Desai we didn't hire from within. Desai came from Seattle, and before that he was with the Bears he was a quality control coach under Fangio, and then he became the defensive coordinator for the Bears in 21. Brian Johnson is obviously I think why they hired Johnson, I think just they have trust in him with the playbook. We're 4-0 right now. Most teams coming off Super Bowls, wins or losses of Super Bowls are not 4-0. It rarely happens. So we're lucky to be the spot. Not lucky, but we should be happy in the spot that we're in. And yes, I love that we're 4-0, and but we haven't even faced the best talent yet. We faced some very good defensive coordinators. We faced Belichick. We faced Ryan Flores. Todd Bowles. We faced guys. We have to say we have faced some good defense, and we have scored over 30 points in some games, and we've had over 400, 500 yards of total offense. Like statistically, they're playing good. It's just getting Jalen Hurts into a rhythm. It's just like putting the right running backs in certain situations. It's I think they kind of stopped with the. Not all the time, but Jalen Hurts was getting hit way too much early in the season this year. Having him run with the football in his hands, QB design runs, yeah. I think they need to mix up some draw plays. I think they have to get the run game going and get some play action going as well. Dallas Goedert needs a bigger opportunity. They're barely using tight ends, and it's scary. That's very, very scary. Now, I know Hurts did miss Dallas Goedert a crap ton of time for some deep shots that were wide open with him just standing there in open field. We missed Dallas Goedert a lot, no doubt. But Dallas Goedert hasn't been a factor. And Nick said at his press conference early, this week, he said, we have to get Dallas Goedert involved. And I totally get it. They got to. I mean, he knows that they do. Got to give the wide receiver threes a chance too. At times. Olamide Zaccheaus playing pretty good. Had only a catch last game. Had a touchdown and and then before that against Tampa Bay, he had a touchdown and a big catch on the left sideline. Hurts has got to be patient in the pocket at times, let things develop and not bail out so quickly. I think that's another problem that Hurts has, but I don't think Hurts is regressing. I think it's the scheme. And I think there's no creativity in the offense as to a quantity of different type quality plays. I think that's where we're kind of lacking. You know what I mean? A little bit. And I think the offense is getting better and better every single week. The Eagles love to take deep shots downfield. I get it. Kelly says, it seems that they're limiting Hurts running. Do you think that's why he looks uncomfortable? I understand they don't want him injured, but he's so exposed. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think Hurts is thinking about a million things when he has the ball in his hands. Is he going to throw it? Should he run it? If he runs in this direction, he's going to get hit by those two guys. If he runs this way, I think he's thinking, because we've seen Jalen Hurts run sprint, jog sprint at times. We're like, dude, why is he running so slow? Is he really running slow on purpose? What's going on? I think part of it is the coaches are making sure, and they put it into his head every single week, do not take unnecessary hits. Because he was taking unnecessary hits the first 2 weeks, a lot of hits. Running with him. The biggest cop-out plays the Eagles do is a QB run. There's nothing wrong with the play. The problem is when they do it so much, or third and long, let's run with Hurts on a QB run. It's just a design QB run all the time. They were running it so much the first 2 to 3 weeks, they were doing it way too much. Way too much. Mobile quarterbacks will not last that long in the league if you do that. So he's got to slide. He's got to protect himself. So Joe said, I think Goddard has a big game Sunday. Yeah, I believe it. I hope. Case this bend but don't break type defense has been the Eagles' mantra ever since Andy left. That must be how Howie likes the defense ran. I don't think it's on Howie. Philly said, we're not professionals. DC know more than us, but it's common sense when you blitz. Don't have the corners 8 back. I get it. Yeah, what doesn't make sense is if you do blitz with your linebackers. And most of the time when they blitz with the linebackers, they hit home most of the time. Or run a stunt. They get it most of the time. But corners 8 yards off the ball, you're blitzing linebackers, which makes even for a bigger wide open play then the middle of the field is way wide, more wide open. I think that's kind of nuts. Eagles are 18th in total defense, 27th in pass defense. It's crazy. Crazy. DC says, Hurts not going to play better until he decides to stop listening to the outside noise and just play his game his way. I mean, he's listening to the coaches, what they want him to do, but I think they're making him think too much. Housecat says, do you blame Jalen for the OC for last game for throwing the touchdown to AJ when we should have just gotten the first down? Shouldn't we know at this point not give them a chance to score? Yeah, I think time management was horrible. You had a minute. By the time they scored that touchdown, they had, what, a minute 40, a minute 43 seconds? They gave way too much time for Washington. They should have, yeah, of course. That was what was that, a second down, a third, whatever that was. Okay, they had so much opportunity to just have some run plays. They could have wasted more time going downfield. I guess because they took a shot. I guess it's because Nick had faith that the defense was going to pull out in time and play well for that last series on defense before overtime. I mean, that's what I kind of take out of it. Got 210 in the chat. Appreciate being here, guys. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every day. We got the Philly Shakedown tomorrow. We got our live play-by-play reaction on Sunday, and we'll have a stream after that and a couple videos. So it'll be a busy weekend. Definitely subscribe if you guys have it, though. No doubt. Guys, I don't know about we got to stop the short passes on defense. I feel like the cornerbacks are so far. I see. We're not stupid. We're all smart here. We don't have to be a coach to really figure this out. Okay, like we're seeing it way too much. I get it. Jade 2100 says, Joey, remember your biggest worry was linebacker. Now we got two competent guys there. Yeah, they played really well and they gelled together really well. Nicholas Morrow. That was Nicholas Morrow's best game. Zach Cunningham on coverage is pretty good, I got to say. And he's very physical. His tackling is so well. Yeah, they've done a fantastic job. Nakobe Dean comes back probably in a couple weeks. If they start Nakobe Dean, it's going to upset me a little bit. It's going to be a little upsetting that they start him on top of two guys playing well. If they put Nicholas Morrow back to the practice squad, they got to try to find it. They have to. When Nakobe Dean comes back, they have got to try and keep him on the active roster. They got to keep him on the active roster, and they got to do something with. They have to move Rashad Penny to practice squad or something, because if Rashad Penny is not even doing anything, they're not even putting him in for. At least if they're putting him for 3 to 5 snaps a game, I wouldn't care. But they're putting him in for nothing. For nothing. Put him to the practice squad. Protect him. So he said, I'm impressed with both. Our D-line makes our linebackers looking good. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's all hand in hand, dude. The corners, when you have good coverage with your corners, it gets you home with the pass rush. The pass rush is good early, and they throw the ball. There could be a turnover. Like it's the pass, the coverage to, just how disruptive this defensive line could be. It's all hand in hand with the pass rush to coverage. I totally agree. Everybody helps each other out, Linebackers can't do it all on their own. Like, they can't. It's just, that's the name of the game. Joe says, I think I'm going to get a Swift jersey. I agree. If you get signed to a multi-year deal, definitely getting one. Yang Yang says 33 million pumpkins are sold for Halloween in the U.S. every year. That is crazy, dude. That is crazy. Chris says, can Dean blitz off the edge? Yeah, probably. I don't see why not. Jason, Zach Cunningham is teleporting to these tackles as well. Well, just think about it. Like, he was signed a big contract for the Titans a couple years ago, or a year or two ago, right? Signed a big contract for the Titans. He ended up getting hurt. He was a big, cap number. They had to restructure him, and they had to release him. They had to get him off the team. But 3 years ago, he was like the third. I think he was. I don't know. He was like the top 3 player in the league with solo tackles. Like, he was a tackling machine, a savvy vet that tackles really well. It's always a great thing to see. It's always great. So, Billy D said, imagine we didn't get Carter, Nolan Smith not developing or is not getting a chance. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't think Nolan Smith was. I thought Nolan Smith was early 20s to late 20s, worth a draft pick in that direction. It was like people are like, oh, we're either getting Nolan Smith or we're getting Jalen Carter at 10. I'm like, no, bro. Nolan Smith shouldn't be a top 10 pick this year, no doubt. But not getting any I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not playing Nolan Smith enough. That's an eye opener to really piss me off. Like, I really hope they're not using Derek Barnett over him just because they want to keep him happy. That's ridiculous. I know Eagles fans make shit up all the time like that. Like they just try to make it make sense. But Nolan Smith needs to play. A first-round pick should not be having less snaps or barely showing up in this. Not even in the lineup. I don't see him line up as a defensive end ever. Not even as a linebacker. Obviously, they're not going to start him at linebacker because we have two competent guys right now. So, Bumps, I think the main outcome of the game will come from the DeAndre Swift and Desai play calling. Yeah, I agree. Crispy says Bradley Roby can be the version of Patrick Robinson. Mentally says, what do you think we're going to do at the trade deadline? I don't know. I mean, if everything works out at nickel corner right now with Bradley Roby, they could go after safety. I have no idea. They could go after receiver. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. I don't know what the plan is. If, like I said, if Roby works out, it'll show her up a lot better that they could go after safety. I heard Sidney Brown is out again this week. I thought he was actually playing this week. I think he is out for the week. So Justin Evans is back, which is good. I think he's played solid, not great, not bad, but I think he's been pretty solid. So I'm not really worried about Justin Evans too much. His coverage and trying to get through traffic sometimes, he's had an issue with that, but I think he's fine. I think they have to get a hybrid guy. I think they should get a guy that could play two positions, whether it's safety and corner, a corner with safety background, a safety with corner background, something like that. I think that's what they should do, But we'll see. But Sidney Brown is out for another week for what it looks like. And, losing Chauncey was obviously the biggest loss. We thought Javon Hargrave before the draft was the biggest loss, but it's obviously not because, I think we got a supernatural, crazy talent, I don't think Will Anderson's put up big numbers this year. So Jalen Carter has been, coming off a Super Bowl, you get the top player in the draft, which is just insane. Just crazy. Housecat, appreciate Super Chats. Has been sub for a bit. Love the consistent content and discussion streams. Keep it up, bro. Who is your favorite Eagle on offense and defense and why? Oh, man. My favorite Eagle on offense is probably Devontae Smith. Just because for his size, he plays big, and I think the big thing coming out of the draft with him was he's not going to last in the league because of his size. He gets hit once, he's going to get hurt. There was a lot of issues with his size, and I think as a Heisman Trophy winner and a guy that just fights I think he's the most dangerous player on this offense. I really do. I think Devontae Smith has been just one of those guys that. It just fights every single game and has done so well for us. I don't think we've seen the best of Devontae Smith yet with this offense yet, So, and defensively, favorite player. Yeah, I'm a trench guy. I've been a trench guy throughout, high school to college. So, Jalen Carter is definitely my favorite player. Like we haven't had a player like this. Really since Fletcher Cox in his prime. Literally since Fletcher. And I think he's better because Fletcher Cox was more dominant. Fletcher Cox was a very dominant pass rusher back in the day, but not much as a run stuffer. But he had a nice balance early in his career and then kind of was more of a pure pass rusher. But Jalen Carter has been just what we've wanted. 20 pressures this year. The sack numbers aren't there, but he's helping the other players around him out like tremendously. If he, he's missed. I thought he missed a few sacks in that Washington game. He definitely missed a couple that I really would like to take back. But I think if Jordan Davis and Carter are playing at a high level like this, it's going to be kind of crazy. It's going to be kind of nuts. So, Joe says Jalen Carter's generous style. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, House Cat, very much. Appreciate it. And yeah, consistency is what it's all about. So we do these streams by ourselves Mondays and Fridays. Today I had a lot of stuff to do after work. Today I had to do shopping. I had a lot of stuff to do. So I wanted to get the stream done. I wanted to get the stream at 9:00, but I couldn't. It was just too much of a crazy day today. But appreciate everybody that joined the stream today because, it's 11:49 and a lot of people showed up, which I do appreciate it. Shout out to Darby. I mean, look what you did, man. Darby and Jalen Mills, your outside cornerbacks. We didn't have the best outside corners, but the biggest piece to that defense was Malcolm Jenkins because he bandaged up our secondary because if there was an injury, he'd move to that spot. If there was a player that was giving us trouble throughout the whole game, he would fill that spot to cover that guy. That's what I think, not having a hybrid type player. Now, this past week, they have been playing Sidney Brown in the nickel spot as well, so they have been crossing him. I think Sidney Brown needs to be that hybrid player for us. I think that's what they need to do. 0 turnovers last week. Let's fix that. Yeah, we caused a fumble to Brian Robinson in the end zone, but we couldn't grab that last week. Antonio Holmes, he says, what, Fletch has always been against the run. What, Fletch is Hall of Famer? No, Fletch is a Hall of Famer. I think when it came to, when Schwartz took over, I think he really wanted, I don't think he cared about the run defense too much. I think it was more of, even with Fletch, he just wanted him to be more as a pass rusher and get to the quarterback at a lot of times during Jim Schwartz's tenure with the Eagles. I think for that time, I think he was great. And I think he's been, like I said, he's been a balance. But right now he's leading the league in quarterback hits right now. So doing a really good job. He's going to be out he's going to be out this game, which is definitely going to hurt a little bit, but I don't think it's going to take us off. I think just give guys more snaps, give Carter more snaps, give Jordan Davis more snaps. I think we're fine. Because really, Jalen Carter's not getting many snaps every game. Not much. Thanks. I don't think Code goes off like he was. Slay is going to take him seriously. Well, yeah, he should every week. Yeah. Albert O is going to be a beast. He is like a bigger receiver. Yeah, the Albert O thing, like they're keeping 4 tight ends on the roster. They're barely throwing to the number 1 tight end right now. That's the problem I'm having. Like they're barely throwing to Dallas Goedert. Albert O is going to be they're not keeping 4 tight ends next year. Albert O is nice to have in case you have injuries at tight end. Like Albert O could potentially be your number 2 behind Goddard. And potentially later on, if they don't sign Goddard to a big extension or something like that, they could, that could be your next tight end down the road. You never know. I think he's very good. I think he could block. I think he could get contested catches. He's got some nice acrobatic catches. He's very athletic. He gets separation. He's like 6'5", 6'6". I don't know what he runs like a 4.49, pretty quick. He might be our fastest tight end, to be honest. With size and speed together, I think he's really good. But we haven't seen him play this year. He was a healthy scratch for the first game, but we'll see. Ricky XVM says, will Eli Ricks play a snap this season? Probably not. Unless Slay and Bradberry get injured, I don't think he's getting any snaps. And it sucks because, he's played against quality stars in preseason. Pick 6 quality starts in preseason against Alec Pierce and, Michael Pittman against the Colts. And what he did against the Ravens on the pick 6 and a couple deflections on top of that. He's been very good. And he's got that pushback attitude, which I really like. And I that's one player that they cannot lose next few years. Like, they got to keep Eli Ricks around and see what he turns into. Because think about it. Slay's contract is up after next season. After the 24 season, Slay's contract is up. And Bradberry only has 2 more years left. So 25 and 26, okay? You're losing both your starting corners due to contracts. So they got to figure out. You kept 7 cornerbacks on the roster this year. That's what I don't get either. They keep all these corners. And Job is like, and then Job has been the best outside guy, I guess, but not to Eli Ricks. Compared to like quality snaps, Ricks has played better. Job didn't face stars in preseason, and when he had the chance, he didn't play well. Eli Ricks has had the value of his work against starters in the offseason, preseason. One piece says, our fans going to take over SoFi Stadium? Yeah, I mean, I would think so. They don't got no fan base over there. If you didn't like the vid, like it, fools. Definitely like it up. Dine says, D Money says he's fast enough. I could see him doing it. Yeah, he's good, man. I think Albert O's going to be a great player, but he's got to get snaps. If they don't play him, he's not going to get better. You know, that's just the truth. He is not going to get better at all. So, other than that, we've been on stream for an hour and 26 minutes. I'm going to cut it short for the night. I mean, we usually do like 2 hours, but I'm going to cut it short. We talked about, obviously the Eagles, Rams, both sides of the football, the injuries. We've talked about just in general what this team needs to do to get better on both sides. We know what the defense has to do. We know what adjustments they have to make. But like I said, offensively and defensively, I think it's very simple. I think it's very fixable. I don't think this is impossible to do at all. So it should be interesting. Should be interesting. Bobby says McVay is going to target Joe. Yeah, so is the thing that I'm confused about right now is Bradley Roby starting this week? I heard he's not. I heard from the beat writers that he's gotten a lot of work at the nickel spot this week, but maybe it is not enough time, so we might have to do a Bradberry inside, Job on the outside for one more game. You know what I mean? And trust me, I don't want it. I kind of hate it. I really don't want it. We're going to find out. D-Much said, hell, at least try it. There ain't slot cornerback in the league that can cover him. We got a super chat from Philly D. Appreciate it so much, man. He says, who is the leader on the defense? Great players, but who is the leader? Well, what? You're talking about, well, there's guys that lead differently. There's guys that lead vocally. There's guys that lead, like, by example. Like, it just depends. Leading-wise, I think Fletch is a big vocal leader for this team. I think Brandon Graham is at times. You know? Willie Vass says, Joey, are you kind of a little nervous about the Rams game because of you? No, I mean, the linebackers have played good. The linebackers are fine. The linebackers played fucking excellent the past couple weeks. Sean Cunningham and Nicholas Moore have been playing lights out. I have no issue with the linebackers. The issue is that they're playing soft coverage, that they're playing 8 to 10 yards off the ball I'm nervous every game. I'm always nervous. Every game. How can I you know what I mean? How can I not be? Like, if they at least move the corners up 5 yards, then I won't even care that much. But they're not being physical. They're giving tight ends and wide receivers 5 to 7 yards off the line, like wide open. They're going to give up a lot of plays underneath it. That's what they do, and I hate it. And that we're not going to win a playoff game that way. Not going to win a playoff game that way. You still got to face KC. You still got to face Miami. You still got to face the Bills. You still got some good teams to face. San Francisco. You still got to face a few good defense. I mean, a few good offenses. Trust me. Like, that's what kind of pisses me off. I don't think it makes them lose games, but it gives the other team so much life. Like, we're giving teams great statistics. They're getting great statistics. Like Sam Howell. Like, we made him look better than he was. Like, he only had 11 incompletions. That's it. That's why, going against Matt Stafford, that's injured this week, going against Zach Wilson and the Jets, like, seriously, dude, like, this is why it pisses me off. Like, I don't like to make it unfair and depend on the 4-man pass rush and gas these guys out and get them tired all game, and then putting pressure on your offense. I don't think that's fair at all. Sucks. I hate it. I really do. But yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we're getting ready. We'll have the Philly shakedown tomorrow night. We'll have a lot to talk about regarding this matchup. Week 5 against the Rams. The Rams are 2-2. The Eagles are 4-0. The Eagles are the better team going to this game from what I'm looking at with matchups and all of that. I think we're the better team. I don't think Matt Stafford. Yeah, Stafford's got like a hip injury right now. Stafford's got a hip pointer, which is, I guess, I don't know. Probably pain, probably something like that. I don't know. Not sure. Microvex says, why not have Evans in the slot? Didn't he play some slot? Yeah, he's played slot in the past. He has, but they haven't put him there. But we need another safety, dude. We need another safety this week. Because Edmonds is god-awful. We didn't have Sidney Brown and Justin Evans last week, and they need Evans at safety this week next to Reed. They need him next to Reed. I don't care what nickel corner looks like this week. They need for the back end of our defense, they need one of those guys back next to Reed Blankenship. So D-Mike says it won't affect. No, it won't affect his arm. It won't affect his arm, but if he gets hit, he's gonna get hit this game. He's gonna get hit. I don't even care if it's not getting to his. It won't affect his throws. The point is it's not going to affect his throws. The point is that he's already hurt, and the Eagles are going to get some shots on him. That's what's going to affect it. Donnell says Stafford and Kupp got hip issues. Joe says, and a good wide receiver is going to sit in the zone, eat our defense up. But that's what happens every week. Look what happened in the Tampa Bay game. We only gave up 12 yards to Mike Evans, 12 in the first half. And guess what happened? They played conservative, really conservative, when the Eagles got on defense in the second half, and Mike Evans just lit us up going downfield in like 3 plays. Literally 3 plays. 4 plays, I would say. He literally got like almost 100, almost probably, I don't know, maybe not 100 yards, but he got like, what, 60, 70 yards? I mean, that's what happens when you play off ball like that and play way too conservative. You know? He single-handedly just that's on purpose. The Eagles did it on purpose to waste more time on the clock. They're doing the soft zone to not give up the big play and to waste more time on the clock. So the Eagles like to get the ball in the second half most of the time. They like to get the ball in the second half because they feel like they can always get the ball back at the right time in the first half, score, and get the ball back again. So we'll see. See what happens. But not going to put too much into it. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the stream tonight. I'm glad everybody, I know it was a late stream, so I appreciate everybody that took time out of their day at 10 at night, 10:30 at night to, go through the stream with me. And yeah. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, like the stream. If you guys haven't, like it up as possible. We got the Philly Shakedown tomorrow night. I will have a video out tomorrow night, and then Sunday we will be streaming all day. So I will be streaming a live play-by-play of the Eagles and Rams. We will have a Shakedown post-game after that, and I'll have a couple videos out for you guys going into Monday to talk about the game. So hopefully 5-0, and we will talk tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy yourselves. Peace out, guys. Peace.